President Donald Trump has been impeached for the second time, Sue. 2 times. Luckily, he doesn't have time for a hat trick.
Yeah, it's a dark day. I mean, I know that there are strong emotions on both sides, as the president might say, but the impeachment of an elected president in a democracy like the United States means that things have gone very far beyond what was planned and what was hoped for, and having it be twice also makes it twice as bad.
Twice. We got a twofer. What happens next? I know we're going to hold the Senate trial, and if the 2/3 vote for the impeachment, he's going to be convicted. But, what does that mean? And then, what happens after that? I feel like everybody's like, yes, impeachment, but then what?
Right, so the impeachment is basically like a charge. If you watch Law and Order, when they go in and try and pitch the prosecutor to charge the criminal, and then they finally charge the criminal, it means that they believe that they have enough evidence to prove a crime in the presidency. And remember, the presidency is not part of our regular Law and Order system. It's kind of like a spin-off, so it has its own rules and its own regulations on how to do it. So Congress has decided that there's enough evidence to impeach the president to charge him with a high crime and misdemeanor. Here's the thing, of course, he'll be out of office any minute now due to the hopefully return to the peaceful transfer of power. Some scholars disagree that a president who is no longer in office can go through an impeachment trial, but other scholars say the impeachment trial is built for crimes that are committed when someone is the president. So there'll probably be some back and forth about that, but in the end, I believe there will be an impeachment trial in the Senate very soon, as soon as they get back into office, even though, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have their agenda that they want to enact. Many people are concerned that the Senate can't chew gum and walk at the same time. Again, we'll see what happens there. The trick here is that there's also another consequence that the Senate can give and put upon former President Donald Trump, and that is, with a simple majority, Senate can agree and vote to make sure that Donald Trump can never run for federal office again. That's one of the tools they have in their punishment toolbox.
Impeachment does have a history in America. I mean, we've had Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton, and then there was Nixon, who resigned before the House could impeach him. As I hear it, Massachusetts has played a role in a lot of them.
Massachusetts is an old Commonwealth, and going back to the 1860s when Andrew Johnson was impeached, there was a Massachusetts lawmaker. His nickname, of course, was the Beast.
That's my nickname too, Sue. Yes. Yeah.
That's the lawmaker. His name was Republican Representative Benjamin the Beast Butler of Lowell. He led the impeachment charge against Andrew Johnson. And then when it came to Nixon, who, of course, as you noted, resigned before he was impeached, another Massachusetts connection, Representative Robert Drinan, he was an anti-war Democrat. He was the first member of Congress to introduce articles of impeachment against Richard Nixon. Even with the Bill Clinton impeachment, obviously the Democrats of Massachusetts were not going to vote to impeach Bill Clinton, but Representative Bill Delahunt, a Democrat here in Massachusetts, did vote to censure Clinton, which is the step that happens before impeachment. So we've always had a hand here in Massachusetts in keeping presidents in line.
A lot of history, and this decade is going to be very interesting in the history books, Sue. I'm looking forward to reading it later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it later, too, and reminding everyone that we live history every day. But, of course, Massachusetts has had a lot to do with forming this nation and forming the norms and what happens when we expect a president to behave in a certain way. Quincy's own John Adams, who was the second president, he lost a bitter battle to become the second-term president of the United States to Thomas Jefferson. And Adams was really mad. He didn't go to the inauguration, but he also didn't challenge the election, and he left at night from the White House, and Thomas Jefferson became president, and John Adams therefore gave the example of how one can do the peaceful transition of power. Folks were very worried that John Adams might stay and we would become a monarchy. Remember, it was only 1801. We were still just a little infant nation.
It's crazy now, but it's only going to get crazier. So please stick with us. Don't go away, because this is going to be a wild ride.
We are the oldest democracy in the world, and we have to work every day to make sure we live another day to set that shining example for the rest of the world, which I'm sure we can reclaim.